This is the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Let's go to Marianne from Green Bay, Wisconsin. What can I do for you, Marianne?
Hi, Father. I have a question about what does it mean to be submissive to your husband? I know that it doesn't mean that they should beat you or things like that, but I'm thinking it should be unity. But please explain.
Well, let's start with the idea of headship. The man is the head of the woman. That, of course, means that the man calls the shots. No, it doesn't. Don't be ridiculous. I will never forget Francis George, Cardinal George, a brilliant man, was once asked a question by a talking head reporter. Well, as leader of the Archdiocese of Chicago, and he looks, I'm not the leader of the Archdiocese, I'm the head of the Archdiocese. And, of course, this person who knew nothing, being in the media, said, well, what's the difference? Said, I'm not. He was shocked by this. When I'm hungry, my stomach is the leader of my body, and it's the head's job to get what the body needs. Headship is about service in the Christian context. The greatest among you should be the least, the servant of all, Jesus says. So headship is about service. And I think submission is about a woman letting a husband do his job. That, for instance, this would be an example of headship. So often we would have in the prayer groups, a woman's, my husband doesn't believe in God, and my husband's irreligious, and I tell him, I preach sermons to him. You know, next time when you're reading a passage in the Bible and you don't quite understand it, why don't you ask your husband what it means? What do you mean ask your husband what it means? He doesn't even go to church. You can still ask him what he thinks it means. Give him the role of helping you, of being your servant. Allow him to serve you. And that's an element of submission that no one thinks about. And the Bible is clear that the headship of a man is a role of service. And when a woman denigrates a man's role of service, she does herself no great favors. So submission is, honey, what do you think? It isn't, I'll do whatever you say, walk all over me. It's not that. But it is about genuine conversation between husband and wife. Does that help a little?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm thinking more of what does it mean to the wife. I mean, that's
what I mean. To the wife, to the wife, submission is when a wife allows her husband to be her husband. Have you ever looked at the word husband? It's an English word. It's not a Hebrew or Greek word, but husbandry means cultivating a farm. You know, the husbandry, it's about cultivation. And I think that that's a very important idea, that cultivating is a big, huge part of the role of a man. And when a woman won't allow her husband to do his job, to serve her, you know, dear, I really think that we should do this in the house, you know. Well, all right, dear honey. Submission is about a dialogue. It isn't a mindless, blind, yes, dear, but it's about the conversation. I would have to look it up, what the word really is in Greek, but I think it has to do with the word to be in order. Ephesians 5:22, wives, and this is another thing, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. That as, I always say that this is the most important, as is the biggest word in the Bible. It isn't as a slave driver, as an owner of slaves, as to the Lord. Understanding that this man is there for your good. The word is hypotasomeno. It means to be for organization, to arrange things properly. It isn't this kind of, you say it, I'll do it. No, that he's got to be the doer. He's the one who's supposed to arrange things the right way. It's a kind of complicated thing. If you go to a travel agent, and the travel agent makes your travel plans and sends you a little brochure, you go here, you do this, you do that, that would be to organize something, and you would follow those organizational instructions. So submission is about the accomplishment of a mutual task in order. Does that help a little?
Okay. It does, and I think I'm on the right path.
Good. Well, stay there. And, you know, they say every marriage could be saved if people would just talk to each other 15 minutes a day. Oh, we talk, not about getting the kids or picking up the laundry or the dry cleaning or, no, say, hey, did you read anything interesting in the newspaper today, dear? That kind of thing. If there was a conversation between a husband and wife, that any marriage could be saved. So I think that's an important thing. All right. Well, thanks for calling. It's a great question.
Thank you.